Stream Elements said Darkjask is now live. Streaming Avowed, Let's Play Avowed is now live. Part 8.
If you were in the Navy, does that mean you sang on ships?
Always. Helps pass the time, gives your work a rhythm. Why?
I heard you singing under your breath in the last fight. Then you were stabbing on beat.
I didn't even realize. How'd you notice?
It's the curse and blessing of having very large ears, dearie.
Well, guess the Navy left me with something useful after all.
I am going to need you to teach me that song, though. I wonder if it'd improve my spellcasting.
As if you need my help for that.
Flattery will get you everywhere, dearie.
Alright, now we're gonna listen to her long monologue.
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. I always ask nicely. But, as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar. A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. Technically, yes. Well, it set me on the path, at least. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. No. Well, me, obviously, but otherwise, no. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Usually I enjoy a bit of pain, but this was a bit too much. I wouldn't recommend it. As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go? Oh, envoy, might I steal a moment of your time? Well, it's the waiting that makes the payoff so delicious, don't you agree? I can't believe yours gone. A city of scientists, attacked for no reason. I'm going to personally find every Steel Garrote asshole and turn them to ash. I can't believe we were able to get as many out of town as we were. We were lucky that the Steel Garrote are all so bad at their jobs. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. I don't know how things are in Paradise, but at least it's not on fire. I mean, I assume. Long enough that I trust her to do her best by everyone. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tadek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young at heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerti. Thirdborn's close to Nakukubel. A girl's gotta eat sometime. In fact, there are. But I'd spent the better part of my childhood in them. I had to go out and find new ruins to get lost in. Have you no sense of adventure, Envoy? I still go out often. I've catalogued many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling. Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course. But a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again. As much as I'd love to, you don't travel with the kitchen. I can't promise anything. My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. Quilici and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked.
Are you joking? He's my mentor. Not to mention 1,000 years old.
Oh, no. They're both handsome humans, of course. But Giada is like family to both Quilici and me. He taught her a lot of what he knows. She spent days in our home. Literal 26-hour days. I still can't quite believe that everything we've built is gone. A generation of work scattered to the wind. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out. Right. The city can be replaced, but not its residents. Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help, darling? We've been traveling together for a little while. I just have to know. Did you purposefully choose such colorful company, or is that just what you attract naturally? I mean, I'm very clearly a delight, so it's obvious why you let me stick around. But Kai's hiding a lot behind that humor of his, isn't he? Thinking that that could be Quilici and me is not something I want to think about. And Marius, I don't know what's lurking in him, but I do think he should speak to someone on it. If he reaches out, do try, will you? As for Giada, well, clearly Giada is a gem. As for me, well, I'm just as riveting as you, but the boys are giving me a run for my money. You've got the thorn of a secret god inside of you. I think your uniqueness goes without saying, my dear envoy. You do strike me as a people person. Tell me, do you get along with all you meet? So, you'll be swarmed by well-wishers then, upon arriving home? And some very angry spouses, I imagine. And here I thought I had a wild youth exploring ruins. You might be putting me to shame, dearie. Quilici is quite good at knowing when to be sweet and when to be sour.
Yatsli, that's my surrogate father you're talking about? Spare my imagination, if you please.
Oh, you knew the risks when you came over uninvited, darling. It's on your head. Well, you've satisfied my curiosity. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. But listening to your incantations, they could use some tightening up. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say? How about I show you a little bit of everything? What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use. I wish we could have done more for them. Capo and Chico, I mean. But if I were in his shoes, I hope I'd make the same choice. Though I'd like to pick a more fun way to die. Exactly my point. Strange, then, that you stopped him. I can only hope that at the end I have some control over things. That I can go out as Yatsley. And don't you forget it. But it gives you something to think about. I mean, not everyone gets to come back like you did, Envoy. I only wish you could have given Capo the same control over his fate. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, darling? Well, I suppose you've earned that much. And I do enjoy rewarding tenacity. Though between your dreams and mine, it's a wonder anyone gets any sleep around here. You remember that I nearly burned my family home down when I was young? It was an accident, and I paid for it. My parents refused to buy me more spellbooks for years. Well, shortly after all that fuss, the dream began. It started at first with a fire. Just flames, crackling, and a feeling of safety. I thought it was a little weird, but nice. But then, the dream kept coming back, night after night. I learned more every time. I saw that it was a fire, in a hearth. And that hearth was in an old library. I assumed it was a library, at least, to explain why there were so many tablets lining the walls. Oh, everything from dry historical recountings to treatises on agricultural techniques. No romances, though. Whoever filled the library must have been allergic to them. No, never actively. I had read them all previously, if that makes any sense. That's actually how I learned the Akhedan language. Just woke up with that knowledge. Which is very useful when you can find no written records. In the library, there's just one person, but they're wearing a hood, so I never see their face. They do the same thing every night. They curl up in a chair by the fire, hold a tablet to their chest, and then the fear comes. The paralyzing, all-encompassing fear of something. Just the noise. A low, deep banging starts, and it rattles through your bones and shakes you to your core. And it replaces the beat of your heart with this droning on and on and on until you forget every other sound you've ever heard.
A beat. Steel feet on the shore. They come by night.
And then, as it just gets louder and louder, and right before it gets there, I wake up.
You've been listening to too many of Giada's ghost stories.
And let me tell you, waking up in a cold sweat does nothing for my fur. How sibilant. No. just that it's all-encompassing. It's strange. I've not told many of the details of my dream. I suppose I must like you quite a bit, Envoy. Don't let it inflate your ego too much. I suppose we should try and get some rest now. I'll have some tea ready for when we awaken later. You think those Adirans were onto something? Or were they onto something before you ended their studies? Do you think they could have cured the Dream Scourge? Dearie, the best science has a little danger attached. I just hope we made the right decision. Well, we'll just have to see how it all shakes out, won't we? Had you left them to their own devices, who knows what we would have gained? A cure might sound far-fetched, but what if they found treatments for the Dream Scourge? And even other ailments? But our loss, I suppose. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, darling? These sudden changes in climate always mess with my coiffure. Does Adir have good fur maintenance products? Do you have a contact for that? Hard to keep up your routine when your home burns down, Envoy. And I'll remember that comment. Truly, just a good long brushing through all my fur alone would do wonders. I've got some time before we see Quilici again, at least. It'll give me time to find something to remind him of what he's missing. Oh, of course, darling. He just enjoys the fruits of my labor more often than most, and I'd hate to disappoint. Quilici and I got used to the stairs early on. Thankfully, at least in Fjord, those stopped eventually. After 30 years, it's hard to still be surprised by us just drinking at the Magpie. Oh, she was still young. Quilici offered to help her study for and prepare her thesis as a favor to her parents. She was over day and night for months, and, well, now she's family. We adore her. All things considered, it's hard to complain about my life in Fjord. No, of course not. No one is perfect, but I forgive him many vices. Like, he sleeps with his socks on.
You two are adorable, you know that?
You're too sweet. As much as I enjoy our little chats, dearie. Oh, but if you do end up finding any liniments, be sure to help a girl out. Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akida, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the Living Lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land instead of trying to tame it. You sound certain. Well, that would align with my own findings. But how could you know that? Oh, well, you should definitely trust that. But dubious metaphysics notwithstanding, you corroborate my theory. The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Ishamatul or, well, Adir. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge, so they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yesua. 10 years ago, you could say it wasn't real, that it was a dream, but they said the same of Ukaiso. Suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible. There was some kind of schism. An ideological one. From what I can glean, the Godless were staunchly against the gods, and hence their name. There are even some not-so-kind murals of the gods. It seems like the Godless really took their anti-theism seriously. Almost like I've dreamt about the Akita my entire life. Well, I think we've covered... Rather, as much as I think you'll... Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much... How can I help, Doug? Always a pleasure, Envoy.
Marius, could I examine your soul?
I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it. At least I know how to deal with those sorts of things. Rope, lantern, extra water skins. Yachtsley's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely? And spiders? How come the answers are never in a little oasis with shade and drink service? I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin. I'm sure we'll be fine. I just hope this is all worth it. Anyway. Pleasant dreams.
Okay. Best food you've eaten. Go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Check your right.
On sync!
Glad that's over.
Yeah.
This is it. Ringrim was definitely here.
I had a feeling. Those tortured ice corpses felt like a sign saying, insane wizard ahead.
Yes, but look at them. The artistry is sublime. Can you imagine having enough finesse to make all this?
Right. You can really feel his soul-wrenching terror. It's almost like being there. Don't like it. Thought I might get used to it standing here, but nope.
A spell. And a very clever one. Ringrim's using her illusions to make people choose to stay away. Everyone except us. Of course I probably can. All spells have a counter. You just have to know what it is. But we can figure that out later. Right now, we have to focus on what's at the end of that passage. Precisely. Chances are we'll die. But if we don't, we stop Ludwig and get into the ruins. So, win-win.
This is the first time I've ever heard anyone describe dying as a win.
Let's get going. Oh, and stay close.
I feel like these faces are watching me. Don't love it. One moment.
Even more bodies. How gauche. That's done. Come on, it's on. I'm covered in fur and even I'm freezing. Are her illusions really so powerful? Stay close. Ringrim's trying to scare us off, but we won't let her, will we? Oh, what a frosty welcome.
I am not gonna lie and pretend I'm loving this icy wasteland we're wandering around in.
It's just a trick, Convoy. A crafted cold trick. Keep moving. Beautiful specimen. Any student of Zarwin's thrilled.
Ah, visitors. Do you know what this moment calls for? A beautiful, macabre story that lingers in the mind. You wish to find me in my tower? You'll have to wait until I tell this tale.
Any plans for getting up into that tower? Last I checked, none of us can fly.
There's got to be a way. Let's snoop around.
Land shaped in the dreamer's image, not with stone or axe, but with essence. Songs of ancient magic. Could we sing to them?
Once, a very couldn't put the statue back together again.
Oh good, skeletons. Just the thing to brighten up the place.
Arms up!
On the left!
I don't get it. Why not just kill us? Why all the pageantry? This wizard is playing with us. If she wanted us dead, we'd be skeleton minions by now.
I think it's part and parcel of being an archmage, unfortunately. Maybe she's trying to teach us something.
It probably has something to do with all the body parts it's missing.
It's probably connected to that village Ringrim mentioned, so keep that in mind, darling.
She broke off the statue's head and hands to... what, teach us a lesson?
It's even missing its heart. See the open chest cavity? Let's take another look at that book of yours. There once stood a village protected by a statue. It kept the air crisp, the land fertile, and the people safe. For a time, the village prospered. For a time, there was the thought that the winter would never come. But then the statue shattered, and winter did come, and the village could not make a decision to save itself. Oh yes, let's. Come on.
Let's do that. So we can get on to the next thing, which I assume is a 1,000-foot drop into a sea of acid.
On your right, Nick. I love Child's play. That's done. Child's play. Walk like it's hard. Get off me! I love this spell.
Glad that's all.
That's done. it's hard. Child's play.
Oh, there's nothing up here? A waste of time, huh?
Keep quiet. This will Someone's eager to meet us.
wanted so bad to do the right thing.
You're here for my Adra piece, aren't you? You can't have it!
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you too, dearie.
I'll die without the Adra. Please, don't take it from me. I don't want to die. What statue? What are you talking about? Why shouldn't I have the Adra piece? It's mine.
Interesting. This must be another illusion.
It's obviously not real. Just take the Audra piece already.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just please let me keep this. I don't remember anymore. I was in pain for so terribly long. But the Adra has kept me alive. Don't let them take it away. The other villagers, they want me to give them the Adra piece. They say it'll save us. But if they take it, I'll die. And I don't want to die. Please!
Do they even know we're here?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wait. I hear screaming. No. What's happening to the village? Everyone's sick. Oh, gods. No. It's too late. It's far too late. We're doomed. What have I done?
And because the village would not...
That poor man. Was he a real person once? Did all that happen to him?
Either way, I'd never want to be in his shoes.
Archmagi truly are inscrutable creatures, aren't they? You asked for it!
that it?
Walk like it's hard. That's done.
Sometimes cold reason is necessary.
Out of town. It's quite realistic, isn't it?
The more realistic the heart, the more it gives me the freakus.
Well, I like it.
Is it weird that I feel relieved that these statues are already broken?
I'm sure they go somewhere. Let's go see where. Walk like it's hard.
The village was on the verge of destruction, but still, they argued.
There's the hat. That means we have everything now. Let's hurry back and see how it all works.
And after that, no more steps. Right?
It's the lesson rather than the authenticity of the story that matters. We've got all the pieces. Quick, quick, put them in. Oh, I want to see how all of this works. And off we go.
I'd offer advice, but once we're in there, all my experience is meaningless.
We're going into an Archmage's tower.
Oh, you made it. Unfortunately, I still have reading to do. Amuse yourself with these skeletons while I finish this paragraph.
Get to the point! right?
Oh, look at the three of you. It's like something out of a book. A godlike of an unknown deity, a flute-carrying scout, and a rainbow-colored wizard. All looking for a garden, from what I've gleaned.
It is her. We felt the pluck of her fingers outside our door, searching. For us? Our prison? Who is she? What does she seek?
My little puzzle was very clever, wasn't it? A challenge and a parable, all at once.
Well, now that we're done with the formality of defeating the skeletons...
I needed you to understand me, yourself, and the gravity of our collective situation. Well, your situation. I'm mostly just an interested observer. I've never seen a godlike with your appearance before. What did you think I was trying to tell you with the puzzle? Oh, I like you. Most people wouldn't dare mouth off to an archmage. The point of the parable is quite simple. Sentimentality is a privilege. The village would have lived if they had chosen to sacrifice one dying soul for the good of many living ones. Oh, you have permission to be wrong. As long as you understand, I don't care about any one individual. More than anything, the whole challenge was for you to understand how I think. No one truly matters in the long run. Not even me, or the other archmages. It's what we leave behind. What matters is that our lives buy the world more history, more beauty, more time to create interesting things. Do you understand? For conversation with me, primarily. Most people find it difficult to relate to an archmage. And if you cannot do so, it will complicate my attempts to communicate with you. I hope you're not intending to enter the ruins. I won't open the path. I came to the Living Lands because the sickness here, this dream scourge, fascinated me. This plague shouldn't exist. It can't, and yet it does. The essence of the Living Lands is falling into chaos and entropy. It's more powerful than anything I've seen. I suspect it has something to do with how the Adra has been severed from the rest of the world. I believe the answers lie in the ruins, but the essence there is so strong it's blocking my spell work, which has never happened before. Ever. No one enters Naku Kubel until I get to the bottom of this. Sorry. I'm fascinated by the implications. What about you is so special that you can enter the ruins and I cannot? You have my interest. Show me if you live up to it. Are you? Oh my. I didn't think this was possible. Something I don't already know. I can't believe I overlooked this possibility. A god here, alone, trapped in the severed Adra. This explains so much. My magic being ineffective, the essence here being so intense. And you, godlike, with your unfamiliar appearance. You're the missing key to the lock, sealing Naku Kubel. A part of me wants to cut you open and rummage inside you so I can learn about your god. But yes, I will. You are a godlike of this strange, isolated, possibly miserable god. A piece of them resides in you. I have no doubt that like will recognize like. You will open the gates to Naku Kubel and I will study this metaphysical aberration up close. Go. Find your so-called garden. Report your findings to me. Perhaps there is more to this than either of us alone can see. A little, yes. Mostly, I'm just pleased that there are still things I'm ignorant of. It's gotten so tedious of late. If there's anything of interest there, I imagine you'll find it. A good question, with possibly worrying answers.
Severing Adra like this requires mass amounts of essence. The souls of thousands offered up for a singular purpose.
Who knows how many were sacrificed to sever an entire continent? And why? I do intend to find out, though. My thanks in return, godlike. It's not often that Kith, or really anything at all, can surprise me. I wish you luck on your journey. If you believe in such things. Just keep in mind that countless dream thralls are on the same path. I'm sure you'll survive. If not, well, lovely to have met you. Let's hope you remain unscathed. And you, Orlan, you seem a clever one. Take my grimoire. It will allow you to dispel the barrier I have set before the ruins. You have talent. Not any mage can dispel my illusions. Perhaps when this is over, we should speak again.
You want to speak again? Yeah, of course. Can't wait.
Oh, lovely. I'm sure she could use an Orland corpse to add to her collection.
There's no shame in ignorance, Envoy. Only a denial of such. Either way, I do know where they are. The ruins are far in the northwest. The people here have named that area the Deadfall Highlands. No more wasting time. Off you go. Use the teleporter behind me to leave. Or jump, I suppose, if you're feeling grim.
Look at all these books. Do you think she'd let me borrow some?
One moment.
This is a delight.
It just happened, right? I didn't imagine it. Ringrim liked me? And my spellcraft! And she gave me her grimoire! Look, isn't it the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? You were incredible! Thank you for trusting me.
Oh, you did that completely without my trust. I admit, I'm impressed.
Very much so. I've always heard the most agile warriors come from the Tusks. You proved them right. With Ringgrim's grimoire, I think we can go to the ruins and find the garden.
Are we actually ahead of Ludwig for once? I'm not familiar with this feeling.
Then there's no time to waste. I must prepare for Naku Kubel. As must you.
Oh, there is a campfire out there with my name on it. Let's go.
Magical ability required to make such a barrier. It's remarkable.
We have to move. Don't forget this place is lousy with dream thrones.
I've dreamt of exploring Nagukubel for years, to find out what happened to the godless who built this and why they vanished. Of course, but we can take a little look around, since we're here already, can't we?
We've seen these things before, Nakutadek. Any idea what they are?
These are magfolk. They're often found in many godless ruins, but they are definitely not godless. That's no surprise. The magfolk are responsible for taking many lives. Godless ruins are filled with magfolk remains, but no records of them exist in Akedan lore. I don't think the godless did well against the magfolk.
Looks like the godless took a few with them.
8 years. Blood like a fountain. No quarter. Nothing spared.
Wait. Did the voice in your head just talk? What did it say? Poor dear. I can only imagine what they saw, what they know, what they've suffered. Anything of historic importance is often blood-soaked. Are you ready? We're entering one of their holiest places. Who knows what we'll find? Okay. Got my wand, got my grimoire. Let's go already. Arthik, Worthan, Roth.
Right. I admit it. It was impressive.
We remember. They loved, and we loved in return. They loved, and we loved in return.
Halloween's gonads. We're actually in Nakukubel. Someone pinch me.
Let's go.
That's done. What a guitar. Oh, look at that Audra. What else might be here?
The heart of the Akita beats. Our veins stir. You are close. Seek the ancient kith who dwell here. They will show you the way.
The brambles! How did you...
An intruder comes.
That's a ghost. That's an Agidan ghost!
An intruder comes.
You don't belong here. Why have you come? business do you have in this place? Tell me, before I strike you down. And the gardener. Of course, they'd seek more souls to help them.
The gardener. That must be how the ancient Akedans referred to their god. To stop it all.
I am Numena, Tebaro Senakis, and guardian of the Akeda and the living lands. They came swarming, relentless, these juggernauts. So many they stole the heat from the stars. They brought death to our temples. They brought doom to our king. And the sky held no sun as our children screamed.
Oh, I know this. You speak of the Magfolk.
Yes, Story Seeker. Their corpses remain, as do our memories of what they did to us. We would have offered them everything, just to save some piece of us. But they did not speak. The Deathbringers were only there for the slaughter. Our words were burned. Our buildings were broken. Anything that was of Akeda, they destroyed.
That's why there are no records. No histories.
We fought so hard, but we fell too. Then they trapped our gardener.
Trapped. A sepulchre of endless night. Bones beneath roots. Stop this. No one answers. The light, it blinded us. Why were we so afraid?
The gardener quickens. This hastens our fears. The gardener was afraid, yes. They were terrified. That was all they saw. Death hungers and cannot be sated. That which killed the Akeda wants more slaughter still. So our gardener calls then, begging one more time to be set free.
Wait. They know. They understand. Why do they hinder you?
When the gardener calls, there is no turning away. But you will prove yourself to us through a series of trials. Survive these trials, and you will know the way to the garden. First is a trial of strength. Demonstrate your might against our ancient dead, and earn the right to face the second. The path to the garden lays before you. It is the only way. Go now. Your trials begin.
Undercities, we just spoke to an ancient Akedan!
Where you going?
I think I got bone dust in my fur.
That's all of them. One moment.
That ghost? Or... I'm not used to quiet. This mural looks idyllic, doesn't it? Sabadal is helping the Akidans grow and flourish. They seem happy.
In a bit.
That's all right.
I'm sick.
more thorough reading later, but it looks like notes from the architect. It seems Nakagurel was divinely inspired, so it's Sapador's fault you got lost over here. Nice of them to give us a little break, isn't it?
Take a moment to rest. Stop. Be back soon.
That's the last one. So much for the first trial. On to the second.
One moment.
We've got another door open. And
Another stranger. You have the gardener's markings, but you are not one of us. You did not fall with us. Why have you come here? Tell me your mind. Tell me what rides in it. You wish to find our gardener? I know that story, and where it ends. The Magfolk sought the gardener too, and our gardener did not want to be found. Our gardener knew what the Magfolk would do, and they broke the world to keep themselves safe. The waters boiled. The land opened, the rivers rose, and we drowned.
We broke the pain. We died with them. How did we do this? We bleed, they bleed, the Magfolk strike. How could we pierce the vein? We cannot, we writhe. Why must we feel this again?
There were so few of us left when the Magfolk were at our doors. We are dead. What can pity do? We are beyond help. but the gardener. Their ways are not the ways of people. You want a path to the garden? Pass this trial of the mind. Show me how clever you are. We will know the breadth of your wisdom before we let you learn what our gardener truly is.
I told you we shouldn't come in here. Pretty sure I said that out loud.
I wonder if there's a clever trick to it.
We are nearly free now.
Oh, just find the right rhythm and you'll be through in a flash.
Oh, shit.
We are nearly free now.
Right. Somehow I always knew. This is how I die. Yeah.
These ghosts aren't very helpful,
Are they ever?
perhaps they're just unused to visitors. Surely they'll warm up to us eventually. I've lost so many blouses to them.
Careful. Watch the floor.
The Echidans are being less merciful than I thought. Looks like a list of building materials. Probably for Nakukubel itself. Third time's the charm. Judging by this mural, the relationship the Akita had with her god was complicated. Perhaps Avowed is... This mural almost looks like a hoax.
You bear our garden. Somehow you've proven to have strength and wit. We now see what you represent. We know the truth of you. We cannot risk you causing another calamity. The gardener must love you for your pliance. One last time, and no more. This I vow. I, Katenrus, who was Tebaru Sonakis was, understand promises, unlike some. No more words. You have not earned the right. Finish your last trial. You come as a supplicant. You do not have the privilege of questions. Go.
I wonder what's at the end of all these trials. Can't imagine it's... Of course these trials require a leap of...
You bear our gardener's mark.
The gardener has grown roots into the Outlander.
What do you Truly seek with our God.
Philosophical Cipher said best view ER's Ono and streamba.com, remove the space, at C8FETP3Z.
Feels like it's about to get weird.
Somehow you bested our trials. Like vermin, you persist.
Like vermin, you endured. You kept your head.
You live where worthier souls have fallen, but your journey ends here.
The soil hardens. Hesitation. Why do we smell fear? They are here to be found. Why? Why will they not free us?
This is where you die, Outlander. We cannot risk you provoking the Gardener and causing another calamity.
So, we will not have another calamity in this land again.
If you are as noble a creature as you claim, you will let your bones rest here with ours.
Now, lay your life down. We will all rest quietly. The gardener will not be disturbed. A bold claim. How do I know you can fulfill it? You fight like someone who has everything to lose. I will not say I trust you, but I will not raise arms against you. My fellows, however, will.
Hey! If you insist!
On your left!
Let's take things. Looks like we got a prize on the table over there. Let's take a look, shall we? Wow. I've never seen a repeating device like this. These mechanisms, They mark the locations of important sites. It's a map.
Ever closer. We must speak of this.
All that for a map? Oh, wonderful.
Good. Serves her right.
So close. We reach. Find us in the Adra.
Your gods said hello, didn't they? Go on then, deal with them. I need time to translate. There's so much rage in this mural. The Sabadal must have been furious, and the Akedans unfortunate bystanders.
Go talk to your secret god, Envoy. I don't think the Dream Thralls will let you take your time.
Come, we yearn for answers. You are here. You heard us in the roots. You seek the garden. You know the way. But the Tabari Sinakis, they turn from you. How can this be? Surely they would welcome you as kin, grafted from the same root. As painful as a wound reopened, yes. We were theirs and they were ours, and we told them to protect the wild and the green. In return, we promised to protect them, and we were true. Always, we protected them. We will not remember. We do not hide. Lies. The rot twists our memories, splinters them, reflections in a night-swallowed lake. We lived in harmony. We were at peace, and then they came with metal bodies and murderous intent. We tried to stop them. We did not want them to die. We loved them. We tried. We loved them so much. We did not cause pain. The spirits lie. We love them most. They twist our words. We will show you. Let us offer you another gift. A seedling of power. We will show you our favor. Wait. An intruder. The piercing light. She draws near. The wire. A razor in our throat. Stop her! We writhe. We bleed. Brings the purging fire at her back. She comes to trap us. Out! Out! Send her out! Set us free!
Wake up! Wake up! What happened? Are you all right? What did you do?
Well, while you were daydreaming, the Audra pillar started shaking. I figured they're not supposed to do that.
You can't hear all the dream thralls trying to get in now. What happened with Stop It All? Once we get past all these dream thralls, I'll be excited to see what scares a god. They're flooding the area, so I think it's a great time to leave. Now! The map points us to Galawain's tusks. We'll find the way to the garden there. We just have to find a godless tower on the southern coast, and boom! There's our entrance into the garden.
No, not a chance. Worst idea I ever heard. Get ready for a fight. We're not getting out that easily. Watch yourselves.
Someone's eager to meet us. Much as I hate to leave, let's get out of here before more dream thralls pop up. On your right. It's getting a little close. On the left.
Behind you!
Onward, watch your left! Ready? Ready to go?
Swarm! Devour!
That's all of them.
Darling, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, me too. Alright, let's get to a save point. I'm gonna be done for tonight.
You asked for it.
Oh.
May Woedica take you.
Leave before you worsen the situation.
Envoy, I hope you found what you were looking for. Because those ruins are about to be a distant memory. Like you, I've come in service to my country. And my god. This is a spring from which the Dream Scourge flows, injecting poison into the veins of the island.
No, a cleansing fire. Poison or cure?
The same poison we burned out of Fior Messiverno. Stand by my side, and we can strike a blow at the Dream Scourge. And at Sapadal. We cut off an infected limb. Nothing more. I'd been watching you, Envoy. You, who survived when so many godlike fell. We fought side by side. No one knows your strengths better than I do. What lengths you'll go to on the path to greatness. No one has even glimpsed what you truly are. Not as I have. The light that shines from within you is blinding.
How does she make even that sound like a threat?
I even asked the gods what made you so remarkable. And the Burned Queen opened my eyes to what you are. We knew the chaos of the living lands had an origin. How could I have known that you were its offspring? This isn't your choice to make. Not when our fates are intertwined. There are 2 plagues in the living lands. Help me destroy one, and the other will follow.
Ashes! Nothing of the Akita will remain!
We may not burn out the Dream Scourge here, but we can burn out its symptoms and take the fight to your patron.
Spirits cry out, bury the fire, but still they rage.
Is her first instinct always to destroy stuff and hope that fixes things?
Always thinking with your sword. You zealots never change. I happen to like these ruins. They've been very informative. Without them, I'd never have learned there was a new god in the living lands.
Another reason why they should be destroyed. Sapadal is dangerous, but an archmage is more unpredictable by far.
I do love it when people choose to listen to reason. I have an alternate solution to the problem at hand.
This should be amusing.
I am not talking to you, am I? Don't interrupt me.
Don't make me separate your skin from your muscle. I can sever the connection between the Adra in the ruins and the rest of the living lands. It will isolate the dream-scourged essence and halt the creation of new dream thralls in Shatterscarp. But those that exist will remain. My solution will end the plague in this region, I believe, and keep Ludwig from having to do terrible things to those nice ruins. I knew I liked you for a reason. Yes, there is a catch. It's also what you may call a large one. Severing the Adra will require the use of a truly immense amount of essence, which, well, will result in a few deaths.
A gentle sleep. One moment day, the next, a poppy's dream to carry them to the Garden of Night. They would feel no pain.
A few dozen people may die. Possibly 100 or so in the more dire scenarios. There is no control over who will perish in the process. But it will stop the Dream Scourge from spreading in Shatterscarp. No new Dream Thralls will be created.
Ringrim is one of the smartest people alive. If she says this is the way, it's hard to argue. No matter how much we might want to.
It's not an ideal solution. But it is easier to save a life when you've amputated the necrotic limb, so to speak.
At least I'm not the only rational voice in this debate. She would sacrifice the very people we're trying to save, and for what? Not even to destroy the Dream Scourge. Merely to slow it down.
Destroying the ruins and killing the dream thralls within is also a short-term measure. Ludwig's solution will eventually result in the same number of casualties, possibly even more. It's simple. Ludwig's solution will kill Dream Thralls, but not eradicate the plague itself. So long as the Dream Scourge exists, more people will become infected. And the infected will take more lives, and this will continue indefinitely.
She has no idea what the consequences of her actions might be. And neither do you. Envoy, I want to show you something. I swore an oath to my goddess. A solemn vow that I would give everything in service to her. Even myself. And I did so, gladly. Zabadal wants the same devotion from you. The only difference is, you never had a choice. Huh. Look at the consequences of their stewardship. Plague, calamity, death. The Living Lands deserves better. Envoy, we have an obligation to scour Sapadal from the Living Lands before they destroy us. Starting with these ruins. Whatever you do, make sure the decision is yours, not theirs. Sapadal will poison your judgment if you let them. You owe Sapadal nothing, and yet they demand everything. That is not devotion. It's cruel.
I suppose she knows a few things about cruelty.
Yes, quite difficult to decide whether to believe your new god or the angry skeleton actively threatening us.
Godlike. I leave the choice to you. Both options will bring harm. The question is, which will bring more good? Perhaps not. But one of these solutions will bring an end to the matter in Shatterscarp. Remember the village and the statue it couldn't repair. Remember the lesson I tried to teach you. None of our lives matters. Not when they might cost us the future. Now choose, Envoy. Destroy the ruins and the Dream Thralls, but allow the plague to keep spreading. Or sever the Adra and end the plague in Shatterscarp, with an unknowable number of casualties.
She toys with you with innocent lives, while I offer only the truth.
You're deciding the fate of dozens, and you're asking me. I am honored, Envoy, but I am not the right one to ask.
Good people die either way. But severing the Adra shortens their suffering, I hope.
Call it an experiment. To see if a mortal can think of futures beyond one's lifetime. And be less sentimental than the village about its statue. Also, I rather loathe the Inquisitor. She's far too used to getting her own way.
Periological and self-absorbed. You hold a blade to the throat of my soldiers, but that's no excuse for wasting my time. Envoy, I hate to be in this position, but at least the choice is in Adiran hands. So choose.
Uh...
Oh, what a relief. You really scared me there, Envoy.
Not sure exactly what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
So be it. Sapadal's hold over you is stronger than I suspected.
Prune, strengthen the living leaves. We twine.
Attune your soul to Sapadal to assist my focus on the Adra. You're the only one who can do that part. And Yatsley, come, help me. I think you'll enjoy this.
Merinzoth Clathan, Aid Marslante.
I am delighted to have been right about you. I was hoping you'd have the cold logic I wanted to see. We've dealt with the Dream Scourge, but you'll still have some cleaning up to do. Now that I know this was all because of a new god flailing in their cage, the Living Lands is no longer of interest to me. Another god. There are so many. If a new one is more aberrant than another, does it really matter? But that is for you to wrestle with. I'm done here. However, I have one final question for your young wizard.
For... me?
You have shown a great deal of talent, Yatsley. Few can harness so much essence with ease. I could use your assistance. And the companionship. It's really dreary being alone. Should you wish to return with me, I would happily take you on as my apprentice. The rest of the circle do not often visit, which is good because they're tiresome. You, however, are a power worth shaping, and rather delightful to boot.
Well, obviously I'm... Wait. Really? You want me to... Wow. That would be... amazing. But I have to think about it. At the very least, the Envoy would be lost without me. And so would my lover. Though the idea of finally devoting more time to magic is... tempting.
Yes, my work will still be there even when this world is in ruins. Which, hopefully, won't happen. Whatever you decide, it will be some months before I depart. You know where to find me. Be clever, godlike. Don't think too much with your heart.
Why are we deferring to that maniac ring?
What is done is done. Do not waste your breath justifying it to me. Countless innocent lives cut short. Even my own soldiers. And for what? Make no mistake. There will be a reckoning for the chaos you unleashed here. At least now I have a better idea of who is pulling your strings. And that is what she wants you to believe. Envoy, need I remind you why the Emperor sent you? To burn out a threat at any cost. To impose order where chaos reigns. If you and Heelgard are too spineless to remember your allegiance, I'll have to finish the job myself. All I wanted to do was protect Shatterscarp. Give it the chance that Fior Messiverno did not have. Instead, I'm left with one dead settlement. And another dying one. So you destroyed its people by the dozens. May the dead forgive you. A word of warning, Envoy. You and I are running out of opportunities to save the living lands from itself. I allowed you to dictate the terms of this meeting. I won't make that mistake twice. I've forgotten how insufferable you can be. One more thing, Envoy. I know what happened to Captain Alfier. You fought valiantly, and she fell in disgrace. But now you have a debt to the Steel Baroque. And one day, I will collect it.
Quick note, it's not a great survival plan to anger people like her. If you can help it.
It wasn't supposed to claim our people! I can't believe the Inquisitor...
No progress without sacrifice. This magic makes my skin twitch.
What's a few trees to save the forest?
We need to talk. You let a mad archmage unleash death with a spell. I need to know why. Is that our answer now? Do we extract that price from every settlement in the Living Lands?
What is the alternative? That we allow the Dream Scourge to spread unchecked?
I don't know. Maybe.
Fuitu Mayu. That choice shouldn't be in anyone's hands.
Then why did we leave it to that archmage?
Reengrim knows more about the Dream Scourge than we do, and we know more than most others do. She found a great solution, but it came with a great cost. What more could we expect?
Do you hear yourself? You both saw what kind of person she is. The twisted little world she built for herself. If ending the Dream Scourge means handing our fate to someone like her, then perhaps it's not worth the cost.
Kai, let's be honest. None of us are walking away from this with a clean conscience. But unless someone makes the tough decisions, the Dream Scourge will kill us all. Or worse. That means living with our nightmares. Embracing them if we must.
Right. Getting killed by monsters is one thing, but turning into one...
We stand here bickering while the solution is just over the horizon. Nothing matters but the garden. Shatterscarp, even Emerald Stair. They're distractions by comparison.
Envoy, we need to discuss what you did in the ruins. I just hope we made the right decision. Those ruins are priceless, and I truly look forward to exploring them again in the future, but... I don't know that I'll ever truly accept what we did. What I did. Usually, I know the right answer. It's obvious. Here, though... I know. We've seen enough pain caused by the Dream Scourge. Things have been... unreal. We spoke to actual ancient Akedans in the ruins. I was able to ask questions and get answers. And it's all thanks to you and your weird god, Sapadal, was it? Oh, big fan. But to go through the trials ourselves? Oh, could we be any luckier? Fascinating. I can't imagine what it was like to grow up a godlike with no god. I'm glad you got answers, sweetheart. Well, I have to start writing this all down before I forget. But do return if you think of any other juicy details. I've been trying to sort my thoughts since we left her domain. We met Ringrim. The Ringrim. Master illusionist of the Circle of Archmagi. And we impressed her? She even offered to make me her apprentice. As smart as you are, Envoy, I sometimes forget that you are still a layperson. It doesn't feel real, but it is. If I take the apprenticeship, I'll have to leave Quilici and Fjord. And what about my study of the Godless? I've spent my whole life with them. Oh, you even learned their proper name. I can't believe you listened. You'll make me cry at this rate. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't do everything all at once. There are only 26 hours in a day. I love my life as it is now. Exploring as I wish and coming home to open arms and a warm bed. I don't want to give that up. But this is something I never even dreamed of. But it's big. It won't leave room for much else. And I'm too old to... Oh, Envoy, what would you do? Oh, darling, don't you know that I'll do what I want no matter what anyone thinks? I just wish to ask a friend his opinion. Now come on, answer the question. What would you do? I know. That's the whole issue. I've learned magic through my own means, reading and studying on my own. How much more could I learn with her? And how much faster? Within a fortnight, I could rule the world.
Oh, gods. I'll stick with the secret sleeping god that whispers who knows what in our leader's head, thank you very much.
Thank you, dearie. I can't promise I'll act on it, but I really appreciate the advice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to write a letter to Quilici. He'll never believe me.
So, we found a map to the garden. Now we see how accurate those ancient godless cartographers could possibly be. Not sure how helpful that map will be, really. There's probably a reason no one's been to the garden in centuries. Right. I think the sea of acid surrounding it had something to do with it, too. I figure either it's a complete dud and there's nothing really there, or we all lose our minds the second we show up. Either way, was it worth it? Who knows? I wish I was as convinced as you are. Thought of going to speak to a god on their turf? It doesn't make sense to me. I guess that's not my problem, really. My job is to keep you alive, whether you've got a god in your head or not. Just don't do anything stupid, all right? Anyway, before I've done some reading. Listen, that back there, in the ruins, that was a lot. I know you passed 3 trials, but I'm not sure what that means exactly. I don't know. Maybe you're the chosen one now. Some kind of prophecy? You don't look that different to me. It's not that I didn't enjoy tromping around in the ancient death trap, getting bossed around by spirits and all that. But I really do hope this was the last time. That kind of humidity does terrible things to my beard. Anyway. If I must.
Can we talk a moment? I wanted to pick your brain about Shatterscarp. How much do you really know about Adra? Not bad. Adra is a physical manifestation of a metaphysical phenomenon. A mineral that takes our souls from death to rebirth. We severed the Adra and Naku Kubel to slow down the Dream Scourge. But at what cost? Still, I wish we had better options. The souls of the dead who go looking for a passage to the beyond will have nowhere to go. They'll be lost in darkness. Some will find their way to an Adra pillar, far from Shatterscarp. But others could wander this land for centuries. A watcher, maybe. It's a shame we haven't got one. Try as we might to help others, we won't always succeed. Even the dead can suffer the consequences of our actions. I just wish the world and its problems would leave us alone. Even for a moment. Give us time to focus on our mission. Ourselves. As do I. We both deserve a little peace. And if the world will not give it to us, then we'll just find it in each other. While I have your ear, can I ask you one more question? Something about Inquisitor Ludwig has been getting to me. She seemed eager to distinguish your Adiran loyalty from your nature as a godlike, as though the two are incompatible. She believes you can be loyal to your country or to your nature, but not both. Do you find that unusual? But what about you, her kinsman? When you rejected Ludwig's offer, she wasn't surprised. As though she saw it coming. Ludwig clearly respects you, but I don't believe she trusts you. Maybe she never has. Anyway, that just had me thinking. Could be nothing, or could be something. Time will tell. Get some rest. You deserve a nap. For that matter, so do I. Not before I've done some reading.
Let's not do that again. Let's stay out of Archmage's domains from now on. Sure, we made it out alive, but that outcome felt out of my hands more than I'd like. I know. I knew when I signed on there'd be risks. Especially with you jumping into every weird cave you find. Anyway, I'm glad to be out of there. Time to curl up with some jerky and a few swigs of Wodak. Anyway. You too.
Do you think you could teach me to shoot?
Sure, but why? You know spells that'll knock an ogre on their back.
I've seen some very pretty girls.
How could they? Beloved that you are, and still they bared their fangs. We blessed the Tabaru and they prick us in return. Roots like a wall. We only meant to protect. We thrashed against the blinding light to keep the Akita safe. We never wanted this. So many seedlings lost. We grieved, but we saved many. The moon waxes from darkness. A new turn, new memories. Yet still the branches swipe. We mourn, we could not be to blame. They should have shared our love. Their spite? This we could not foresee. But you are here. A green shoot after the fire. You would not raise your hand against us. Words like bile. This is not our way. Sleep now. Dream of golden poppy.
It's good to see a living face. Is there anything you want?
Gods, what a job. How many more are we going to find dead?
Gods.
Who need... Oh!
Three dozen dead, of no apparent causes. They just fell over. Like their hearts were stopped in their chest. What did you do, Envoy? I know you're involved somehow. Bullshit. There was always another option. Something better than this massacre. Dozens are dead, Envoy. Their loved ones scream for them. What was all this for? The costs were too great, Envoy. And you paid them with third-born blood. I hope your fucking decisions haunt you forever. You've cost so many families their loved ones. You have my permission to go anywhere else.
It's you! You're the monster who got us kicked out of Third Board.
Did we do that? Right, sounds like us.
What do you have against honest businessmen? You can't fast-talk me, you fiend! I demand compensation!
I know you're upset, Tycho, but they seem like they're really strong.
Shizu, please don't undermine me in front of them. You have to make things right by me. By us, I mean. Don't try to play games with us. We can take you.
I can see why you'd think that. I mean, we are being weighed down by all these weapons and armor.
Tycho, this might be a bad idea. I mean, I'm good with the blade on dead targets, but...
You two? Fine. That kind of takes the wind out of my sails.
Thank you. I'm glad today didn't end in bloodshed.
Maybe the next time we all meet, we can just have a lovely drink, or I can dissect you. Either one.
Don't promise me a good time, dearie.
Well, go on, get out of here, before I change my mind. And if we ever do meet again, well, you can forget about that discount.
Watch your back out here, traveler.
Ludwig may have a skull for a face, but her fury was clear enough. If her path crosses ours again, it'll be ugly.
Frankly, I'll take any opportunity we get to ruin Ludwig's day.
I'll say this much for the Inquisitor. She's stubborn, like a rat. And I plan on hunting her like a rat.
I'd say we shouldn't stay on her bad side, but I'm not sure she has any other sides.
You know her better than any of us. What's your read?
Right. Focus, people. Try not to think about how we're up against a dead woman who threatens the entire living lands.
Yeah. Instead, think about the soul-corrupting plague that also threatens the living lands.
Well, the joke's on her in any case. Ludwig won't get very far without that map. She'll be scratching her skull.
Somehow, I don't think she'll let that stop her for long.
And Ludwig definitely strikes me as someone who doesn't leave food on her plate. Right, and the Steel Garrote is famously level-headed. Just look at Fior.
Ludwig and her Steel Garrote have the numbers and the power, but we have spunk and a map. And that might just be enough to find the garden before she does.
We're all competing for the same thing. A place we barely understand, with no guarantees of what we'll find there. Still, I am determined to reach the garden, above all else.
Oh, that's just a pile of Sokka. Oh, now you're listening to me, all of a Sokka sup sudden. You won't find a blessed thing. This wild beetle chase of yours is a Padraku waste of time. To get to the garden, you have to go through Galawain's tusks. The land is made of lava and acid. It wants to eat you alive.
So it's tough odds. We've gotten this far together.
Tough odds is an extra Zarb jumping in at the last minute. This is a long trek, on foot, through a land that can barely support life. I don't have to be a Blessed Oracle to know this won't go how you think it will. And all your clues come from one source. You've been following a voice in your head. What do you know about Soppadal? How do you know you can trust them? That's good for you. What about the rest of us, huh? Will your secret god bring us all back, or just you?
What's on your mind, Marius? What bothers you so?
Because I can scream until I'm blue in the face, and you people would still rather trust the Envoy's pet headache demon. And now you want to drag us through the deadliest region in the world because a sleeping god said so. You're not listening to what I am telling you. I'm done here. Do whatever blessed planning you want to do. You don't need me for that.
Let's just take a breath, Marius. You don't mean that.
Nope. I said what I said. Come get me when it's time to go.
Poor Marius. Some things really rattled him.
I've never seen Marius like this. Something's going on with him, but I don't know what.
Be gentle with him. Or if not gentle, understanding.
Well, hopefully Marius will be okay soon. We have to get going if we want to get to the garden before Ludwig.
We won't get far unless we look after each other. Now's your chance.
I know what you're gonna say. Marius, you need to slow down. Think about your feelings. Well, I don't want to think about my feelings. So just let me be alone for a bit. It is. And it isn't. I'm not sure what it is, really. Just the thought of going back to Galawain's tusks makes my heart feel like it's going to explode. I sweat. My ears ring. I can't breathe. When it seems like we're really heading there, I feel like I'm dying. I don't know. Maybe? I mean, I left there for a reason. Good reason? I'm not sure. I understand not wanting to go back, but why can't I just thinking about it makes me feel ill. I need some time alone, Envoy. I need to get some rest. I'll be ready to go when the time comes.
All right. That's where we're going to end it. It's time for me to get some sleep. Let's see what we're going to raid out to tonight. Going over to DATS /raid. Alright, raid has been created. I do want to thank everybody for coming by today, and until next time, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. Don't forget to make somebody smile, and I love y'all. Okay, bye.